Hey everybody, Aaron Bishop here with another Bishop's Blurb. In the book of Revelation, we read of a mark, a sign that everyone will be required to get on the back of their hand or on their forehead. Revelation 13 verse 16. Also it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or on the forehead. Now there's a lot of speculation out there as to just what form this mark will take. Is it a microchip? Barcode, RFID tag, something else that we don't even know yet? We just know what it is, then we can avoid it. When we attempt to discern what the mark will be in the future, we miss the way of avoiding the mark that's already in the present. Let me show you what I mean. A few episodes back in I Pledge Allegiance, we looked at the Shema and how it is a declaration of allegiance to the God of Israel. A few verses later, as part of this section of scripture, we read this. Deuteronomy 6 verse 8. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Now this verse is speaking about the commands of God that he is giving Israel. It is to be a sign to them that they're to put onto their hands and onto their forehead. Now in Judaism, they actually take this very literally. They make boxes for themselves, and they write the scriptures on pieces of paper, and they put them inside these boxes. They then take those boxes and they wrap them around the back of their hand and on their head, as a literal fulfillment of this command. But if we understand this to be not literal but symbolic and metaphorical, then this verse isn't about crafting little boxes for yourself and putting scripture in them while you pray. Rather, it's a call to act. To put the commands on your hand means to be directed in your actions by the commands of God. And to put them as frontlets between your eyes means to allow it to guide you in your thoughts and in the ways that you approach the world. And the outcome, the side effect of acting in this way, is to live a life of allegiance to God. And this is not the only time or even the first time that we see this type of language used in the Bible. Exodus chapter 13 verse 15 through 16. For when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, then the Lord killed all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of animals. Therefore I sacrificed to the Lord all the males that first opened the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be a mark on your hand or as frontlets between your eyes, for by a strong hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. In Exodus 13, this is the chapter directly after the Passover. Israel's not even out of Egypt yet. They had just been freed for the first time. And this is a command that God gives them. He puts a choice in front of Israel. You can be in allegiance to Pharaoh, and he will kill your children. He will throw them into the Nile. And in the end, you will still suffer judgment right alongside him. Or you can join yourself to the God of Israel. And in so doing, you willfully give up control of your children and of your property. We see this language used again in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 11 verse 18. And you shall therefore lay up these words of mine in your heart and in your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Again, we see the same thing of the commands being put on the hand and between the eyes. Just a few verses earlier in Deuteronomy 11:13, it says, and if you will indeed obey my commands that I command you today, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. This idea of putting it on your hand and between your eyes is a matter of allegiance. The mark of the beast, will it one day be a literal thing that will be placed on your hand or on your forehead? Maybe. But you don't have to wait to be marked by the beast. You can be marked by the beast now. All you have to do is swear allegiance to the beast, to his system, and to his leaders. This state of affairs that we're all born to. Alternatively, you can declare allegiance to the God of Israel, the God of creation. You can do his things. You can be guided by his word. And in so doing, you will have his mark on your hand and between your eyes. The choice is not one day in the future, what will you choose? The choice is before you right now.